Welcome to today's episode of Recovery Unleashed. Um, Today's episode is firstly what it's called. It's called The Power of Addiction. And this is probably the most powerful and hardest episode I think I'll ever do. And I hope that people understand why I'm doing it. It's because I care. And the reason that I'm going to share this story is because this means so much to me. And people will say, like, why do you care so much? Like, what do you get out of this? And it's not in part, it's what I've gotten out of it, but it's what my family and everyone else has gotten out of it as well. Like I've said this before, but from other people's help, and that's all it is, other people's help, other people who'd been through what I've gone through and shared their time and their experience with me and how to help me, like my sponsor, just for one example. But from them people helping me, how it changed my life. And even more importantly to me, how it changed my partner's life and how it changed my kids' lives. So, again, sorry, this one's a very hard episode for me. There's a lot of emotion with me on this one. But the reason I want to do this, I want other fellas, girls, mums, dads. I want not only their lives to get better, but their whole families. All you deserve to be happy. Addicts deserve to be free. Like I know, regardless of what society will tell you, is that I know for the fact in my own experience, when I took my first drink or drug when I was 15 or 16 or whatever, if I was younger, but I never wanted my life to get this bad. I never wanted to get to my rock bottoms multiple times. I never wanted it to get there. I wanted to go out and just have a bit of fun and let loose, and that's all it was, like a lot of people. But it took me a long time to actually realise that I suffer from the disease of addiction. But it's important that people know that no addict sets out to upend their lives or to start ruining their family's lives. It's not a premeditated thought to actually get to that point in life. So that's why I'm going to share this story, because I know how amazing of a feeling it is to be able to hold your head up high again. To begin, I'm not saying just to fully, to begin to be proud of yourself, to realise that there is a good person in there. That, yeah, I understand that you might have had to deal with some really traumatic stuff in life, stuff that you never should have had to, and that you didn't know how to deal with emotion or struggles in life or your mental health, and taking a drink or drug just helped you to get away from it. And who wouldn't? You want to be free. None of us want to feel sad or to feel unhappy all the time. Are you a bad person for wanting to take an easier option out? Well, I definitely don't think so. So as I said, this episode is called, my heart rate is starting to go up a bit here, so it's called The Power of Addiction. And I'm going to tell you my most powerful and also proudest thing that I've ever got from addiction to where I am now. Whew, bear with me on this one. So I spoke to my partner about this to say that it was all right. This isn't just about me. But my partner said, yeah, of course, Alan. She'd be proud of you. And 10 years ago, nearly 11 now, we lost our second daughter, Brooke. She died at birth. It was something that 1 in 1,000 kids are affected by. Our little Brooke was full term. She was delivered, and she came out not breathing. A really traumatic experience, but you'll notice actually I could do with her support here. this is this is the teddy bear we got when we lost our little girl in the hospital. We got to keep her for 4 days. This is my little Brooke with me in spirit. But when my daughter died, we got to keep her for 4 days in the hospital. We just got the time to hold her and to be with her and to try and just take it in as much as we were in shock. But the whole point I'm going into this story is when so if you can try to imagine this as surreal and horrific and all as it sounds, is I was holding my little dead girl in my arms in hospital, and at the time I was struggling with addiction, but didn't realize an addict. But I wanted to be a better person, and I remember when I said I was holding my little girl in my arms in the hospital, and I made a promise to her. I said to her, I promise that I'm going to give up to drinking and drugs, and I'm going to be a better dad and a better partner. And I truly meant it. I really, really did mean it. Hand on heart, as an honest thing as I ever said with heartfelt conviction. I meant it to my little girl. My little girl who died holding her in my arms. I made a promise to her. And unfortunately, as an addict, I couldn't keep that promise. 4 days later, I was drinking and using cocaine. The day after her funeral. Why? Because I'm an addict. You know, that's that's where addiction takes you. I couldn't keep that promise. But from the gift of recovery, my little girl's here with me now. And I'm trying not to get emotional. I don't want to be emotional. I'm not looking for pity. But my little girl, Brooke, is here with me now. And she's proud of me. And she's helped me to get here. And if I can ever say how happy and proud I am of myself that I'm able to keep that, whew, that I'm able to keep that promise that I made to my little girl that day. It's a very it's a very it's a nice feeling that the one promise that I made to her while she was on earth with us was that I'd get better and I'd be a better dad and I'd be a better partner to her mum. And if it wasn't for recovery, if it wasn't for people helping me, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to keep my promise to my little girl. So if anyone ever wants to wonder why I'm here and I'm doing this, and I want other people to have a shot at happiness, at freedom, well, this is my reason, along with my most darkest secret that I've wanted to keep. I don't want people to know. Like, I made a promise to my little girl when she died that I wouldn't drink or I would give up drugs and I'd be a better person, which I meant, and I can still hold on her, feeling her. I can still remember saying it, and I meant it. Because I was an addict, I couldn't keep that promise for 5 years. But here we are today, 5 years, coming on 5 years sober, and I have my little girl Brooke with me, and she will be with me for every episode going forward, because I know that she's proud of me, and it's nice to have her here because it reminds me why I'm doing it. It reminds me why I'm here. It reminds me why I don't care about being judged, what other people think of me, because recovery is allowing me to be this person. If I stayed in addiction, and if I didn't look for help, and if I didn't do the suggested things and all the stuff that I've been going on about, I wouldn't be keeping that promise. And I know every day when I'm having a good day or a bad day and I don't want to work recovery, I think about gifts that recovery has given me, like this one. And you imagine how amazing that feels, to actually just have kept it, to say, we done it. We're here, Brooke, and life's looking good for us now. And we've a happy family, and, it's, you could, I could buy anything, or you could give me any external gift or money or anything like that. Nothing can ever come close to how the pride and contentment that's given me. So that is my darkest and deepest secret that I never wanted anyone to know. Imagine that, like it's a horrible thing to have to say that you weren't able to keep. Imagine what that does to you internally every day. Never told anyone this, you know, kept it all to myself because that's what addiction does. It keeps everything inside you. Just hide it. Don't let anyone know how much you're hurting. Don't let anyone know your pain. Don't let anyone know what you're tormenting yourself with daily. Because that's what addiction is. It's a disease. It's a sickness. It feeds off this. And because even after when my little brook passed, I couldn't deal with emotion. I was an addict. I couldn't deal with emotion. I didn't know how to turn around and say, I'm really struggling. I feel like I'm dying on the inside. I'm longing for my little girl. All I knew, because I was addicted to alcohol and drugs, was to take, drink, or drugs. That's how I dealt with pain. I didn't know any other way. It's what I taught myself. It was a learned behaviour. It's what I'd done from a young age to get out of myself and be out of my mind and be away from my thoughts or feelings because I couldn't process them. I drank and I took drugs. Did that give me a reason to drink or take drugs? No. A lot of people say it would have been, or they could understand, but it didn't. I always have a choice, no matter what. And I've said this in my own videos. Just so you're understanding, I'm practicing what I'm preaching to you here. I'm not getting on like a guru and being like, oh, just do this and do this. I've been to hell. I've lived there and I've stayed in hell for a long time. And I beat myself up enough that I didn't want to be on earth anymore. Some days I just thought, no, can't do it. Don't want to be here. What's the point? I'm never going to be better. I'm never going to get the opportunity to be this person that I want to be the dad that I want to be. But like I said, here I am. From other people's help, from support. And I should have mentioned this one before. And from the support of the people who matter most to me. From my partner, my kids, my loved ones, my close friends. They're all the people that I owe this to. They're all the people that I owe happiness to and freedom to. And they're the people who I'm paying back now. And that's what makes me happy. Like I've said this in other shows. Like you might think you're a bad person. And I thought I was a bad person for a very, very long time. But I was making bad choices. I like to think of myself as a good person. Far from perfect now, but I like to think of myself as a good person. I try to do good and I try to help others. And that's something that I never would have been able to say about myself before. All I ever thought about was drinking, drugs, playing Johnny Big Balls to people who didn't matter, living a fake life, going to Ibiza to cover up all the insecurities and things because I thought I looked better to people. But all people who didn't matter to me. Most of all, not people like my like my little brook here. So you can imagine that this has been an unbelievably hard episode for me to do. It has, and I'm still in my mind. I'm going, should I do it? Oh God, But fuck it. Do you know that? I know my little girl is proud of me, and I know I've kept my promise to her, and that's what recovery is all about: getting better and looking after the people that you love most. So there's an addict for you, and there's a story of addiction. I'm sure people look now, oh, he has his podcast and he's on doing this and that. Life couldn't have been that bad from, you don't get that far that easily. But that's how bad it was. That's the type of person, that's what went on in my mind. And that's the type of person I was on the inside. They're the type of thoughts that I had daily. Miserable, sad, don't want to be here. But I can smile now. And I'm reminding myself that because you can imagine when that emotion touched there, it's hard. It's hard to feel with. But now, I'm here because of recovery, the 12 steps, connection, a sponsor, and most importantly, helping others. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Because I'm proud of myself, and my little girl is proud of me. And most importantly, I kept my promise. It took me a little bit longer to get there than I would have liked, but I kept it. and I'm proud of myself. And I'll never break that promise again. Once I continue to always work my program. If I get lazy, I can make one bad decision and it's gone. But it means too much to me that I won't do that. But again, this is available for all yous. No matter how bad you think you are or the bad stuff you think you've done and there's no coming back, there's always a way back. You just have to believe in yourself and forget the bullshit that your mind's telling you. Your mind will keep you in addiction. So I hope someone somewhere hears that message, because I don't think I have a more powerful message or a more powerful thing I can say to anyone. So please reach out. I've mentioned there's a new Facebook sober group, Recovery Unleashed sober group. It's for all yous. It's for all yous that have no hope or want to talk, who are hiding stuff, to get on and just have a voice, to know that you're a person and someone doesn't want to listen to you. So I'm going to wrap this episode from me and from Brooke, who's going to, as I said, who's going to be with me from every episode going forth, because I'm proud of myself for saying that and getting here. And I know, as I said, she's proud of me too. So the way I end every episode, and I hope this one resonates a little bit more than usual, it's never too late to unleash your own recovery. I'll catch you on the next episode.